Welcome to Talking Point here with Stephen Taylor. It's good to have you along. And today I've got one of my, a person that I've looked up to, a person that I've been following for quite a few months and a couple of years now. Somebody that plays for the Stormers, who I am a fan of. Coleman, how are you doing, buddy? Welcome to Talking Point.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for coming in. So tell me about yourself. Of course, for people that don't know, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Knysna, so I grew up there, went to primary school there, and then went to grade PE when I was for high school for 5 years, and then I came to Cape Town, lucky enough to be part of Western Province Institute, and then I came through the ranks there.
So how did it work? I mean, where did your love for sports come about? I mean, obviously from school level, did you start playing sport from a young age? Tell me about your passion for sports.
I was always an outdoor kid, I suppose. Always the naughty one in class, so I'd get rid of all of that energy on the field. But I used to love cricket as well. I've actually said in previous interviews, like, cricket's my first love, or was my first love. Played it up to matric.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So I used to love cricket. Hurt my back in matric, and then that forced me to take a 2-month break, and then focused on rugby and everything. And then I was lucky enough to make Craven Week, and then I got scouted by Province over there.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So tell me about, like growing up, some of the challenges. Of course, we went through apartheid and stuff like that. Some of the challenges that you faced getting into sport. I know that we've got this whole thing about transformation now going on. Were there any challenges that you faced growing up in South Africa?
No, not really. I was born in 1990, so I was a peanut pot, but just like I was still small when the whole thing was going on. And then I didn't really feel the effects of apartheid. I'm actually quite lucky to say that. But now that the whole transformation thing's coming back, it's actually, in my view, it's a negative, because now you don't know if you picked on merit or is because of the color of your skin. At the end of the day, I think the coach should pick a team on merit, so you can represent your country, knowing you're the best player in the country in that position.
Is that something that plays on your mind when you get chosen for the team? Are you there because you are of color, or are you there because you Coleman and you've earned the right to be there? Is that something that sticks in your mind?
Not at Province. I've been lucky enough to be at Province now for a few years. I think it's coming up in 6-7 years now. So I've never felt that I've been a quota player in saying that. So it's almost like a family environment at Province, and because we're such a diverse culture in Western Province, it's easier for the guys to mix, and you're there on merit and not because of the color of your skin.
So tell me about the training schedule. Tell me about, now obviously you've picked up this injury, we'll speak about that a bit later on, but tell me about your training schedule, a week in the life of Coleman. Tell us about what you do.
There's different times in the year. You have your pre-season, your off-season, and then obviously your in-season. In-season is very much different to your off-season and your pre-season. So in-season you'll come in at, say, 8 o'clock, you'll do a little bit of review on your team you're playing that week, and then do that for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then you'll go to gym for an hour, go back, take a little bit of recovery drink or whatever you need to do, off for about half an hour, 40 minutes. Then we'll go out to the field and train, usually a split session, and then we'll come back, have a meeting, and then we'll have our team session.
The meeting involves strategy, of course, what you're going to do for the game.
Yes, do
you watch like old games of them playing and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's where the analysis comes in. So, say we play the Bulls, and we'll watch all the clips of the last 3-4 games. And
wow.
It's part of sport nowadays. So, and then we'll go out on the field and train the plans that we want to execute on the weekend.
Okay. Yeah. And tell me about your ambitions in rugby. Where do you see yourself like going forward? Is it your dream to play for the Springboks, for South Africa one day?
Yeah, it's always been a dream to play for the Boks. I think this year would have probably been my gap, I suppose. But in saying that, I got injured now, and everything does happen for a reason. Next year I'll take it full force again, and when everyone's fit and healthy, we'll have good competition in the fly stock.
So tell me about some of the places that you've been to. Of course, the Stormers do travel, they go different places. Tell me about some of the different places that you've been to, some of the experiences in those countries.
Yeah, went to obviously New Zealand and Australia. And then this year went to Argentina for the first time.
How was that?
That was amazing.
And you played the Jaguars, right? And you beat them.
Yeah, we beat them
Wow.
in the first South African country, so that was quite nice. But yeah, just their culture over there is totally different to anyone. It's difficult speaking, communicating with them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't speak English?
No, that's Spanish there. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, but yeah, I've been to England, London. That was nice. Quite cold there, obviously.
Yeah. It's not always cold, by the way.
Yeah,
It does get warmer.
yeah, Australia's pretty much like Sydney is pretty much like Cape Town, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are the people?
Yeah, people are very friendly in
Are
Sydney.
they?
Yeah, pretty much in Australia all over.
And when you got to the airport, which is quite cool. Have you ever watched that show, Border Security?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
is it that hectic?
Yes, they're very hectic.
Did they search your stuff?
You have to open your bag, clean your boots before you go over.
Really?
Yeah, you can't bring any dirt into their country, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had some dirty boots that you had to clean?
Yeah, before we got on the bus, it's crazy. Yeah, and then New Zealand was also nice. We got to Auckland and there was like a South African band playing there. It was quite
nice. Okay.
Cool.
And the foods that you've experienced?
Yeah, no, not much difference.
How is it?
Yeah. In Argentina, we ate a lot of meat.
Okay.
Obviously, because that's their main food.
Yeah.
Meat and bread. Picked up a few kgs over there.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, nothing hectic. We do have like a set menu that our conditioning coach sets out and sends to the hotels
Really?
and stuff. So
Wow.
yeah.
So you can only eat certain things?
No, you can eat whatever you want, but
Okay.
the main meals are
Yeah.
it goes according to a diet. So
So tell me about your diet. Tell me about, like, if you pick up a few kgs, are you fined, or how does it work? Yeah.
yeah, it all depends what works for you.
Oh.
Yeah, if you like feeling light or be big, or that's what you work on in the off season. So you gym a little bit harder. For me, I like to feel light on the field, so I don't. If I get too heavy, I can feel a bit slow or a bit sluggish on the field.
To give you that extra pace, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, it does. The diet's a big in my life anyway. It's a big part of my rugby career.
Okay. Now, you got into. You were given an opportunity. Of course, one of the players were injured. You were given the opportunity to play for the Stormers, to show like who you are, to do a bit more about, like, to give an opportunity to show people that you have got what it takes. Then you got the injury. Tell us about that, and tell us how that like knocked your confidence, man.
Yeah, Rob the Pre got injured.
Yeah.
Unlucky for him. It's part of the game as well. He'll be back after the June test, so good luck to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got my opportunity, started a few games, just started playing nicely. And then just before the Sunwolves game at Newlands, we had training, and I just ran and I stepped and I heard a pop and then I just went down.
Oh man.
Yeah, lying there was...
So no one tackled you, there was no contact with any other
nothing
player?
at all.
How did you land? How does that happen? Hey? It's
I
a
don't
freak,
know.
so that's what you call a freak injury.
Yeah, so I was lying there and then the physio came to me and he did his tests and stuff. I think I was a little bit in denial.
Yeah.
Because I still tried to run or whatever.
Oh, shibbit.
Yeah, I did run. It was...
Oh, shibbit.
Yeah.
They probably damaged it more.
No. Once it's off, it's off.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But it was hurting, of course.
Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Mine's still rugby, so it was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ran like, I think, one length of 20 meters, stopped fine. But I couldn't straighten my knee, so...
Shibbit.
Yeah, and then I went for the scan and then I saw it's ruptured, so...
And then you had the operation?
And the op was a success. I did about 4 weeks ago now.
So you broke what? What was?
I tore my ACL
What is
ligament. That's the two ligaments, or 2 or 3 ligaments in your knee that stabilize your knee.
Okay.
And that's the main ligament that keeps it together.
So is there still pain, discomfort when you walk? You have to be on crutches, obviously.
Yeah. No, the most pain was the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on a lot of pain pills then. But yeah, no more pain really. With the rehab exercise I'm doing at the moment, that's just trying to get my legs straight again. That's painful now and then, but it's bearable. It's not too bad.
And the discomfort of walking crutches. Have you learnt a lot about like?
No, I've been on crutches actually a few times.
Oh really?
It's part of the game.
Okay.
So, I did my ankle a few years back, and then I was on crutches for 6 weeks.
That's your expert now. Can you give us some tips?
Yeah, if you have strong triceps, you're fine. So
but you work your arms with the crutches,
triceps,
right? Yeah.
So
okay. I don't know all the lingo. Man.
Yeah, it's the back part of the bicep.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have strong triceps, then you're good to go.
So that obviously knocked your confidence, that obviously knocked your morale, like this, keeping you out now.
Yeah, I think once you over the initial shock of the injury, you come to terms with it pretty quickly. I think it only hit me once I was lying there ready to go into for the op. Because before that I could still do anything. I could walk, I could drive.
And you were starting to play well.
Yeah. And then I just felt, it happens. I'll be negative about it, it might keep me out longer. So I just said to myself, it happened, I'll come back stronger next year and then we'll take it from there.
And then John Luke took over from you, right?
Yeah, John Luke took over, great guy.
Yeah.
He's playing well at the moment.
That shows that Stormers have got depth.
Yeah, there was actually some worry in the beginning of the year that we have no depth and it's a young squad and all that stuff.
So those are players literally coming up through the ranks?
Through the ranks, same as me. Rob was at the Sharks first, came to Marty's, played well, was player of the tournament there, came through the ranks at Province, same as JL, came through the ranks and now guys are playing well at the Stormers level. So
how does it work? So obviously you have school level rugby. How do you progress into playing for Western Province and then playing for the Stormers? How does it work?
Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to play Craven for Eastern Province, and then so
that's quite big.
Yeah, that's a big stepping stone, I suppose. If you get scouted there, then you have 1 foot in the door. And it's all up to you. And then I went to the Western Province Institute when I was under 19. Played for Western Province under 19, and then I came through the ranks under 21, Warren Cup. Cup, Super Rugby. So I did all the
so you play for Western Province first, like Currie Cup, before you get chosen?
No, I played for the Stormers before I played for Western Province.
Yeah,
it was a Stormers crisis at Flower back in 2011, I think, with 4 injuries, and I was the 5th Flower.
So when did you start playing for the Stormers?
2011. I was 21 years old.
Wow.
So
but you've played alongside some like big names in rugby.
Yeah.
Brian Abana was still there.
Brian was there. Conrad Yankees.
Yes.
John de Villiers, obviously. Jacques Fourie.
Jacques Fourie was a big loss. Eh? I don't know. Like he just disappeared. I was and Peter Grant as well.
Peter Grant. Came up with him. I played Skalk, Andries Becker.
Whatever happened to Andries?
Yeah, all in Japan making money.
Is that where they? Is that?
Yeah.
But does that like? That must make. That's very disheartening. Of course, we're losing our players overseas. I mean, these are big name players, and Andries was huge.
Yeah.
Big guy, good player. But I mean, would you ever consider something like that?
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, the rugby is your living.
Yeah.
So you have to make a decision in your life or in your career.
So you literally pack up and leave?
For your future, because if you're not getting maybe game time or you feel you're not getting paid enough or whatever the case, you have to make a move. And that's probably the most scary thing about rugby is you only have a job for a certain amount of years, as long as your contract is. And
that's true.
Yeah. So
what is the lifespan of a rugby player?
Depends on what you look after your body, I suppose.
35 max, probably?
But
that's young.
Yeah, it's very young.
How old are you now?
I'm 26. So hopefully
you're nearly over the hill, eh?
Yeah. Hopefully I got another 9-10 years.
Yeah, maybe. Let's hope, eh? So our new Springbok coach, Alistair Coetzee, obviously you played under him.
Yeah.
Tell us about his technique, his style.
Yeah, no, Alistair's a good guy. He's done well at Province. He was here for 9 years or 8 years.
Yeah.
He's got a good record.
Do you think it was a surprise appointment? Or
no, I don't think so. I think everyone knew in the country it's probably him. I think it was just if he was going to turn down the job because of his deal in Japan.
Deserved, do you think?
Pardon?
Do you think he deserved?
Yes, I think he was there for the 07 World Cup. So
well, he was assistant.
Yeah, he was assistant, so he knows what the Bok culture is about and all that stuff. And he has mentioned openly that he wanted to be Bok coach in the future. Or
if the opportunity arose,
if the opportunity arose. And
I don't think he'd actually started in Japan, had he?
Yeah, he had 1 season there already.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so lucky enough for him, he took the job, and I think he'll do well.
Do you think that he might get him knowing you and knowing your style, that's a better opportunity of you getting into a Springbok team?
I don't know. I think it all depends on how you play at the moment. Yeah, especially with he said it's a new style of Springbok rugby, so
maybe giving younger players an opportunity.
Yeah, so we can't say from now, because he knows people, that he's going to pick them. I'd like to think that he'll pick them on form and not on their name.
Or their colour.
Or their colour of their skin.
Well, sadly, he has to, unfortunately.
Yeah, because that's part of his requirement, and that's a sad thing, I suppose.
Do you think it's sad that we're now, not able to possibly bid for the, 2023, right? World Cup, Rugby World Cup. Do you think that, but there must have been a lot that has happened before that for the minister to take such a drastic decision.
Yeah.
Do you think you should be rather penalising those provinces or unions that are not doing what they're supposed to, rather than penalising the whole country?
Yeah, I don't really know, because if you're costing your country basically. Because if we host the World Cup, it
opens doors.
Yeah, we'll do wonders for our economy and all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's thinking at the moment, but we can still take it back. Probably the damage is done already, I suppose.
Do you think we underestimated Japan in the World Cup? Do you think that a lot of our players were already going to Japan. So Japan were learning a lot about South African rugby even before we played them. Do you think I underestimated Japan when we went in the World Cup?
I don't think so. I think Japan just stepped up to the plate that day. And Eddie Jones came with a great plan to beat the Boks. And I think they were caught off guard a little bit. But in saying that, I still think the Boks were good enough on the day to pull it through.
You nearly had him as a coach.
Yeah, had him for a
and then
week.
England came. Did you meet him?
Yes, I met him.
How is he?
He's a good guy. I was actually excited to work under him. How he spoke about the game and how he was thinking. And
he knows a lot about rugby. He helped England to win the Six Nations.
Yeah, straight after their horrible performance in the World Cup.
So that just shows you the power that he has, or the vision.
Yeah, I was excited to play under him. But obviously now we have Robbie Flick, and I think he's a brilliant coach.
So Eddie Jones came and left. England came along, paid him like some crazy amount to buy. They basically bought him out of his contract.
Yeah.
Which with a rand pound is okay. They paid like £2 or something. I don't know. And then we had Robbie Flick, which was a surprise coach.
Yeah, interim coach.
Yes. But I think he's done well.
Yeah, he's done very well. I think the secret was probably backing the younger players, because he coached the under-21 team, and
so he knew the people.
He knew the younger guys, and he knew us because he coached us for 7 years before that. So I think everyone knew the type of guy he was and the type of coach he is, and how he likes to play.
And he's got experience. I mean, he played for the Western Province, and
for the Boks as well. So, I think everyone bought into his vision and the way he wants to play. And
is he strict?
No, he's the same coach. Onus is on you. If you don't want to make it, that's your thing, basically. He gives you a lot of leeway, but in that you have to take responsibility. So, I think that's also one of his secrets, I suppose. Backing the players. He always says it's not me, it's we. So I think that's a good thing for him.
Okay, let's give you a scenario, Kurt. Half-time, you're losing, in the change room. What does Robbie Flick say to you?
First thing he says, breathe, take a minute. And he says nothing, we're just quiet. We take 2 deep breaths, come in, relax, get your water, slow down, leg the game. He'll come in, he'll take another 2 deep breaths, and then he'll give his message, whatever he feels we have to do. Obviously there's harsh words now and then.
Yeah, for sure.
But depending on the game and the situation, I suppose that's what it is.
What has been the most memorable moment in your rugby career so far? What do you look back on and say, or who have you maybe met, or in a moment in your career that you've gone, wow, this is crazy, I never thought that this moment would happen?
I think probably getting my debut at Newlands. lucky enough, we were playing against the Sharks. We were up a few points.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was 21, flipping scared. Probably 40,000 people in the stadium.
How's that feeling when you run out at Newlands? I mean, I sit in the crowd.
Yeah.
You being on the field, how does that affect you when you're actually playing rugby?
Yeah, for me personally, I don't hear it most times.
Okay.
Yeah, when you run on the field, you see everyone, but when that whistle blows, then it's all focus.
Yeah.
And then downtime in the game, when the whistle blows for scrums and lineouts, then you'll have a look around and you'll actually absorb it a little bit, and then the ball's in play, then you'll switch on again. But yeah, and then went on. I'll never forget this first tackle was Bismarck to proceed.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was quite fun. Yeah, and then I made a conversion. It's probably my proudest moment till then,
Nice,
till now,
man.
and then obviously just playing for Province, amazing.
And obviously you've met some of the New Zealand players.
Yeah,
Who?
I didn't meet Carter. We didn't play the game that we played against Crusaders.
All right.
Played against Sunny Baldo. I still joked about it a few weeks prior to that. Like, I was still playing Warren Cup, and I had a joke with one of the coaches, Lippy Levy. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry, you're gonna be there in a few weeks." I'm like, "Nah, I'll never be able to tackle Sunny
Yeah.
Baldo."
And
2
you
weeks
did.
later, I was standing in front of him. Yeah, so that was quite cool.
But how does that feel? How's it feeling? I mean, were you like nervous? Were you like, that's just a player, right?
Yeah, as a player, you get psyched up for it. So
Yeah.
you don't really doubt yourself, or because everyone backs you in the team, and then obviously you know who he is and what he's capable of. So you try and stop him from doing that. But yeah, it's cool. Met a couple of nice guys at Joe Tamani's a nice guy, and yeah, there's quite a few in New Zealand as well. Malaka Fikatua, yeah, Ben Smith, Limas Puanga, very nice guy. So yeah, there's quite a few guys, and yeah.
So Kurt Coleman, if you weren't playing rugby, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
I've got no idea. Yeah.
Did you study or?
Yeah, I studied a BA course at Stellenbosch.
Okay.
First 2 years after the institute. But yeah, that's when the rugby picked off, and then couldn't really pursue that.
So how
But
would you
now-
describe yourself for people that don't know? I mean, if you, obviously we see you on the rugby field, how would you describe yourself?
I'm a very shy guy.
Really?
Yeah, by nature. So I won't go out of my way.
Says he who drives his name on his car.
Well, thanks for that.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose if you get a little sponsorship here, then
Yeah.
you have to take it.
No, for sure.
As part of the game. But yeah, I'm not. Suppose I'm very humble, down to earth. I'd like to say.
Has the fame, would you say, has it changed you in any way?
I'd like to say it hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to. Like I said, I like to say it hasn't changed me as a person.
How's that feeling when people recognize you? You can't go anywhere without people knowing, there's Kurt Coleman.
Yeah.
And that feeling,
Yeah, it's a nice feeling. Sometimes it does get a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
When you need a little bit of alone time
Yeah.
with your family, maybe, or
Yeah.
your girlfriend, or whatever.
people wanting selfies and pictures.
Yeah,
and, people
but-
don't really ask for autographs anymore, right? Or do
Only
they?
at the games.
Okay.
Yeah, only at the game. Mostly selfies now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's part of the game, and I love doing it. So
And if you ever got to that level of playing for the Springboks, obviously things would change like tenfold.
it's drastic.
And sevens, have you ever considered that?
No.
Right? Too fast for you.
Yeah, not too fast. I've actually got like a phobia against sevens.
Right?
Yeah, I broke my ankle in standard 9.
Oh wow.
Yeah, playing sevens, and I was
Really?
out yeah as well. So yeah, I chopped the
More
bone.
intense or what?
No, it's just it's a different game, huh? So you have to be super fit. It's so different to 15s. You have more time to make a decision, but less time, if you know what I mean. Because you have so much time to think, that it's easy to make the wrong decision.
That's right.
Yeah. And there's so much space on the field, and you're tracking your defense, you're stepping, you're passing, all the little things that you don't really notice in 15s, you get exposed in it at 7s. And I think that's probably the one difference between the 15s and the 7s code.
To somebody watching at home right now, what advice would you give to them wanting to follow in your path? What would you tell them?
Yeah, it's probably cliche, determination, courage, all those things. But for me, it was probably some coach, I can't remember who, told me once, if you get opportunity, always be ready. I think it was actually Alice Tuckett.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Always be ready for that opportunity, because if you do get that opportunity and you're not ready, you'll seldom get it again. And I've taken that to heart since he told me that back in 2011. And I think all the opportunities that I have got, I've managed to take, I'd like to say. And yeah, it's probably good at some of the best advice he's given me over the years. So yeah, I'd say that for anyone watching at the moment. Yeah.
What chances do you think we have, the Stormers, of winning the tournament?
Yeah, at the moment we're doing well. We're sitting pretty. We're on the top of our conference.
Above the Lions, by the way.
We
are, eh?
Yeah,
Yes.
1 point, I think. I think we're 1 point above the Bulls as well, but
yeah,
they've got a game in hand. So yeah, we'll see how the weekend pans out. Hopefully the Bulls can take a knock.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think we play the Sunwolves now next week. And then we come back, we play the Bulls at Loftus. And
Are you sad you're not going?
Yeah, sad I'm not playing.
Yeah.
More than not going. But yeah, it's part of the game.
And you haven't even got to play them at Newlands because you injured the week before. So yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah.
Coach Coleman, thank you very much, man. Tell me, where can people find you online on social media?
Yeah, from social media, on Twitter you can find me Coach Coleman 10. On Instagram I'm also Coach Coleman 10, and then on Facebook I've got a fan page, Coach Coleman. And yeah, you guys can find me there.
Do you like posting pictures and stuff? Yeah,
now and then. Yeah, just keep everyone happy. Try and interact with the fans, but yeah, it's going well at the moment.
Nice,
in
man.
a good place. Yeah, we'll see how it goes in the next couple of months. See how the knee goes, and then we'll take it from there.
Awesome, Coach Coleman. Thank you very much, man. Of course, we'll see you back. Not this season.
Yeah.
Next season. Yeah. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much, man.
Thank
you. Another episode of Talking Point was Stephen Taylor here on Dean TV. I will catch you back next week, same time, same place. Of course, don't forget to interact with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and of course Twitter at Stephen Taylor SA. That is where you can find me on all my platforms at Stephen Taylor SA. Let me know what you think of the show. Maybe suggest people that you'd like on the show, or let me know anything. Maybe you've got something happen in your community that you'd like to let us know about. Please feel free to let me know about that. Drop me those tweets, Facebook or Instagram messages at Stephen Taylor SA. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you to my production team, Bjorn, and the team right here at Dean TV. Take it easy. God bless. Bye-bye.